Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Curse of Oak Island ready to send someone underground. The guys on the Curse of Oak Island are ready to send someone underground. They have been searching for treasure for years. However, it now looks like they possibly found a tunnel to an underground shaft that might include some hidden treasure. Here is a look at what happened in this week's episode as they get closer to heading underground. Curse of Oak Island looking into garden shaft. The guys on the Curse of Oak Island found a tunnel that looks like it heads straight to the garden shaft. This is a big deal because this was an area of interest for years. At one time, people dismissed the garden shaft as a searcher shaft. That might not be true. When gold was found in the water around that area, the guys determined it was more than just random flakes. There had to be more around there, and that opened up the idea of searching these tunnels again. Add in the discovery of wood with carbon-14 dating, and it was time to look into this area. Last week, Dumas Contracting late showed up on the show, and the Lina Brothers hired them to excavate the area of the garden shaft. The crew said it would only take 50 days, and they could go about 75 feet down. They also said they could go in any direction and at any elevation the brothers wanted. For the first time, the Lina Brothers could send someone underground to look into these tunnels. While waiting this week on Curse of Oak Island, the guys continued with borehole drilling, where they think they found another tunnel into the garden shaft. This is because they are using new technology and machinery, including an XRF matching and XRD machine, and used these to show there was really a tunnel down there. What is in this underground shaft? This tunnel was heading in the direction of the garden shaft. It is a big deal because no one has seemed to explore this part of Oak Island. There is no historical documentation for this area of the island. What the Lina Brothers believe is that they might have just found a series of tunnels and chambers built by the people who brought the treasure to Oak Island. The question now is who built these chambers. There have been lots of theories, including the Templars and Masons. While these are still prevalent theories, there are also some new theories that the former King of France, King Louis XV, might have commissioned the tunnels and chambers on Oak Island that might hold all the hidden treasure. The salt air blew in from the North Atlantic, sending ripples across the surface of the mysterious Oak Island. The narrow strip of land, with its tangled trees and hidden creeks, seemed to whisper secrets that have been locked away for centuries. From the moment the Lina Brothers, Rick and Marty, set foot on this enigmatic island, they knew it was unlike any other. Here in this place of mystery, legend, and tragedy, every step could lead them closer to fortune or disaster. The legend of Oak Island dates back to 1795, when a young boy named Daniel McGinnis stumbled upon a curious depression in the ground while wandering through the thick woods. As he dug, he discovered a layer of oak logs, and beneath them, more logs and strange markings. Over the years, stories grew of hidden treasure buried by pirates or knights, or perhaps something more ancient, something more sinister. Whoever had hidden it had been meticulous, and they had set a curse upon the island. The curse that said 7 must die before the treasure is revealed, and so far 6 had met their fate. Yet, despite the warnings, the Lina Brothers were undeterred. For years they had chased the truth behind the fabled money pit, drawn by a fascination that borders on obsession. The island's traps and labyrinths, its tunnels and caverns, seemed alive with malice, as if they were created not just to conceal something, but to protect it fiercely, desperately. Every time they drilled deeper, uncovered another artifact, or found another clue, it felt like the island itself was resisting, fighting back against their every move. Ready to go down? Rick asked Marty, his eyes gleaming with determination under the brim of his baseball cap. Marty nodded, though there was a shadow of worry etched on his face. We're closer than we've ever been, Rick, but this place, it's alive. It doesn't want us to find whatever is down there. The brothers, accompanied by their team of treasure hunters, archaeologists, and engineers, stood at the edge of a newly excavated shaft. The air was thick with anticipation and a hint of fear. They had come prepared with state-of-the-art technology, sonar, drills, and even a caisson to dig deeper than anyone before. But Oak Island had a way of turning even the best laid plans into dust. Jack Begley, their ever-cautious colleague, tapped his fingers nervously on the map spread out before them. "This is it. This is the spot where the anomalies showed up. If there's anything down there, this is where it'll be." "Or it's just another decoy," Rick replied. "This island's got more tricks than we've got time to count." The team lowered the massive drilling rig, its metal frame creaking like the bones of an old ship. They were venturing into the earth, into darkness where others had gone before and never returned. Every member of the crew knew the risks, knew the curse, and yet they pressed on, driven by a force as ancient as the island itself, the desire for discovery, for riches, for a piece of history that would rewrite the past. The first few meters were easy. Sand, soft clay, and a few stones gave way to the powerful drill. The ground trembled slightly, a low rumble that sent a shiver up everyone's spine. But then, just as they began to think they might finally have an easy dig, the earth seemed to clench its fists around the drill. "Stop, stop," Marty shouted. The crew scrambled to shut off the machinery. The drill was stuck, caught on something hard and unyielding. "What is it?" Rick asked. "Could be rock," replied Dave Blankenship, his voice gruff but calm. "Or it could be something else." The team exchanged uneasy glances. They had hit strange objects before: bits of wood, scrap metal, even what appeared to be sections of old ladders, all suggesting that someone, at some point, had dug and tunneled here. But this was different. The sensor showed something massive and dense. "Only one way to find out," Marty said, trying to inject some cheer into the tension. "Let's go take a look." The team prepared to send down a camera, a sleek device fitted with lights and a long cable. As it descended, the screen showed only blackness at first, then layers of rock and earth passing by in a blur, and then something glinted in the dark. "Hold on, what's that?" Rick leaned closer to the monitor. The camera's light reflected off something shiny, something metallic, embedded deep within the soil. The shape was not clear, but it was large, and whatever it was old, very old. "Could be a chest," Jack muttered, "or a weapon, or it could be nothing," Marty interrupted, but his voice betrayed a flicker of hope. "Send it down further," Rick urged, leaning forward as if he could somehow will the camera closer to the object. The crew watched in breathless anticipation, each second seeming like an eternity. The camera jerked suddenly, then spun wildly. "What's happening?" Rick shouted. The monitor flickered and went black. "Something's down there," said Charles Barkhouse, his voice barely a whisper. "Something big, and it doesn't want us to see." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. This was not the first time the island had played tricks on their equipment, not the first time they felt as if some unseen force was toying with them. But this felt different, more direct, more deliberate. "We're going down," Rick said with a tone that brooked no argument. "You sure about that?" Marty asked. "We could wait, analyze the footage, maybe." "No," Rick interrupted. "We've waited long enough. It's time to face whatever's down there." And so, the crew prepared to send someone underground, into the heart of Oak Island itself. As they descended, the walls closed in, the light from above dimming to a narrow, ghostly glow. The air was cold and damp, thick with the scent of earth and something else, something ancient, almost metallic.